Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life, and in this video, we're going to be talking about why the no contact rule is becoming less effective as time goes on. I know you guys are watching other people online, listening to other people online, and you probably are hearing about the no contact rule. You're probably hearing people say, you got to do it 100%, just follow it, don't think about it, just do it, all that stuff. However, I do want to let you know that the no contact rule is becoming less and less effective as time goes on. Now, why is this? Why is it becoming less and less effective? Simply put, it's because the no contact rule is becoming more widely known to people out there. Now, obviously, there's people that want to use the no contact rule to get back together with their ex. You know, they heard someone somewhere on the internet for some reason that still defies my understanding, that they need to do the no contact rule to force their ex to miss them to the point where they crack under the pressure and crawl back to you over broken shards of glass and confess that they love you and can't live without you and that the two of you should get back together and have a million babies right now. Maybe that works. I don't know. But I have noticed over the, 11 years or something that I've been doing this, that it's becoming less and less effective. Why is this? People are becoming more and more aware that it exists. There's also the other no contact rule, of course. People who use the no contact rule for the purpose of just simply trying to get over their ex. So, if you're going through a breakup and whether you want to get back together, whether you want to move on, if you're going through a breakup and you're looking for some sort of help somewhere on the internet, you're probably hearing about the no contact rule. And so your ex probably knows about it. Your ex probably picked up on this somewhere, whether it's on some website or some video or some podcast or some book or something. They probably heard about it. And simply put, people understand what it means when you're just falling off the face of the earth and not talking to them for a month or whatever. And so they recognize that this is probably something that you're doing. It might even be something that they're doing too. And if there's two people doing the no contact rule, basically you're both hiding behind a wall, kind of peeking out at one another, waiting for one of you to kind of wave the white flag of surrender first. Granted, it was a lot different, 15, 20 years ago. The very first time I went through a big breakup with my big ex was in 2003. Back then, people were still talking about the no contact rule. They were talking about it on a forum that I used to go to, because that was the only place you could actually go back then to get relationship advice, was a forum on the internet. I mean, sure, there were women's magazines and everything, but I'm not going to read a women's magazine. But there was a forum back then called Not Alone. It's still there. And that's where I heard about the no contact rule for the first time. I did it. It worked. It got my ex to crack under the pressure and confess that she missed me. But would it still work today? I think it probably would be less effective today because, again, more people these days know what no contact is. They've heard about it in some capacity. They've had it suggested to them. They've come across it on YouTube. They've come across it on the internet. They've come across it in a book. They've come across it somewhere else. And they know what no contact is. And so when you're just falling out of contact with them for, weeks or months or something, they know what you're doing. And many times, because oftentimes after a breakup, people have this sort of competitive nature with their ex, where it's like, oh, which one of us is going to get into a relationship first? Which one of us is going to seem like we're better off first? Which one of us is going to, confess that we missed the other one first? They can kind of get into this competitive thing with you, and they think, oh, you're doing no contact. I should do no contact too. Let's see which one of us breaks first. Or let's see which one of us does whatever first. And so although no contact can be effective, the way that other people talk about it, they just do no contact, wait for your ex to crack under the pressure, crawl over the broken shards of glass and all that. Even though that can be effective, it's becoming less and less effective. That is to say, it's no longer a surprise. It's no longer coming out of nowhere. It's no longer a shock to the system. It's no longer instilling that same degree of doubt or worry or concern that you're not contacting them anymore that maybe it used to when people were less aware of it. And so this brings up an important point, which is something that I've been advocating for a while now, which is that no contact should not be your one and only strategy, especially not in the way that you're hearing about it from other people. You want to use no contact if and only if you and your ex being in contact with one another is doing more harm than good to your connection. If you and your ex being in contact with one another is bringing the two of you closer together, hey, something's working. Let's not mess with what's working, right? You know, as they say, don't fix what ain't broken. However, if you are in contact with them and it's damaging the emotional connection between the two of you, it makes sense to stop doing that. It makes sense to stop doing whatever you're doing, take a step back, reevaluate what you're doing and say, okay, what's not working here? Can I bring myself up to speed? What can I be focusing on instead that's going to maximize things moving forward? Do I need to get out of damage control mode? Do I need to work on things like advanced relational skills? Do I need to work on communication? Do I need to work on all these other things before we get back into contact? And I should not be getting back in contact until I legitimately believe that something is going to be fundamentally different. That's what active no contact is. That's what we talk about. We do have our whole playlist on active no contact right up there. Check it out if you're new to all of this. If you've somehow, just recently found me or something, go ahead and do that. Also, while you're there, hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. It helps us with the algorithm. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel, post comments, all that stuff. It helps out. Engagement helps us out a lot. It's a free way to support the channel. Don't just rely on this increasingly ineffective strategy. It should not be your one and only tool. There are other tools that you can use, many, many other tools that you can use besides just no contact. You're going to have a really hard time if you're just using one tool. Oftentimes when I work with people, communication is a big thing. It's a very big issue that they need to work through. We've been helping people with communication a lot, in terms of how to communicate clearly, effectively, how to handle less than receptive partners and all of that. Again, if you want to check that out, we have our communication course. It's called Effortless Connection. You can find that over at modernlove.life/E as in effortless, C as in connection, modernlove.life/EC. You should have a wide arsenal of tools at your disposal because, as they say, if the only tool you have is a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. And if the only tool that you have is no contact, it starts to seem like that's what you should do in every situation. That's why I hear from a lot of people that have, maybe just recently found me or tried some other strategy or something before, where it's like, yeah, we did no contact. And then I found out that they are in a rebound relationship. So I did no contact again. And then we had an argument. So I did no contact again. And then they said that they're confused. So I did no contact again. And it's like, why are you just always doing no contact no matter what they do? That's not helpful. Many times it's not helpful because many times if you are honest with yourself and you look back at your relationship, you can say, okay, maybe it didn't work because I wasn't paying attention to them. I was neglecting them in some way. And in a certain capacity, is no contact any different than not paying attention to them and neglecting them? And in which case you want to be real with yourself and say, okay, if this strategy got me into trouble in the first place, is it going to get me out of trouble now that I'm in trouble? Some famous person that said, you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that got you in there in the first place. Something like that. Or doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is madness or the definition of insanity. I think Einstein said both of those things, or at least it's attributed to him. I know there's many quotes that are falsely attributed to him, so I don't know. But anyway, we want to be careful with no contact. Make sure that it's not just the one thing that you're doing. Make sure that you know when to use it, when not to use it, when is the right time for using it, when is the wrong time for using it, and make sure that you're, when it makes sense, using it if you need to, and using other things if that makes more sense as well too. But anyway, thanks so much for watching this video, this content, this audio, whatever. Hit the thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. Talk to you next time.